Welcome to the podcast that talks about online dating and relationship advice. Is the grass really greener on the other side? We will try to find out. Eventually, we will cover why we think we have to settle when in a relationship. We will also discover how to really come together to find the loving relationship we deserve. Welcome to Dating and Relationship Advice. So, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You're like,
Are you going to introduce yourself?
Oh, my name is Brian, and this is Ann. Should we describe what we look like?
I
Does
guess.
it matter?
Doesn't matter. Does it?
No.
I'm 5'8" and a size 2. No.
And a sexy blonde.
Yes, it's so accurate. I was a model in a former life.
Oh, whatever. And I was not a model in a former life. Brown hair, brown eyes.
Yep.
Tall, dark, and ugly.
Very handsome. Shut up. Jesus.
I just like to stick that in there.
Yeah.
So I was curious, we've both been in the dating arena.
Unfortunately.
Of course, I've been in it for too long.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, so how long have you dated?
Ever since I was 19, I have stories from when I started at 19
Yeah.
up until now, which is a lot of years.
Yeah. And so how many long-term relationships would you say you've had that were a year or more?
A year or more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. 1, 2, 4, maybe 4.
4? Okay.
Or maybe 5.
Yeah. No, so because if you talk about dating, dating can range anywhere from, my definition of dating is dating anywhere from a first date to somebody that you date for maybe a month or two, but something that doesn't last longer than 6 months.
Oh, no, I consider a date, just taking someone out to dinner.
Yeah.
Even regardless if it's once or not.
Yeah.
But then a relationship is, continually dating.
Right. So
over that's what I think.
Long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're specifically talking about dating and not long-term relationships.
Well, we can enter in long-term relationships.
Okay.
Now you said a year or longer.
Yeah.
Does it count when people have broken up and then came back together? Is that an accumulative?
I would say it'd be accumulative. Honestly, I think of relationships as usually longer than 6 months, and especially if you come back together, it's a culmination of the time that you spent together. But honestly, there's only one person that I've broken up with and gone back to dating. Two people, but one doesn't really count. I'm not counting that.
Oh. Yeah, I've never gone back to.
Yeah. So.
Except for one.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a rule that I don't even entertain going back to that person.
Yeah.
Usually. Because I don't like to be not important enough.
Right.
To even, if somebody's going to glance at me.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to go date somebody else, and then maybe I'll come back to you.
No, it's usually when I'm done, I'm done. Usually if I'm done with a relationship, I don't go back. And, because I wouldn't have discarded the person in the first place, But, again, there was an exception.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Now, see, I get screwed up on creating profiles because I see a lot of profiles out there, and I don't understand why. It's some people don't put pictures on there. They put landscapes or they put something totally different.
You know why they're doing that, don't you?
Yeah, they're trying to hide from something.
They're hiding. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
They're hiding. They're cheating. Or I know this because I've done it. You post a picture of something random, not because you're looking for anyone, because you're trying to find someone who you think is on there.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
A bunch of times.
So, yeah, never trust the profile pictures that aren't actual profile pictures, or if it's just like a shirtless dude that has no handle, like it doesn't even have a name on it. It's like, you know, Big Junk 36 or something. Like, yeah, you just avoid those. Yeah.
No, I totally answer his. No, I'm just kidding.
I would be curious. So I know what some of the guys' profiles are. And there's tons of like TikToks and memes on like what guys' profiles look like, and they're very, all of them are very similar. You know, guy with a fish, guy working out, flexing in the gym mirror, guy shirtless, guy posing with a group of friends and you don't know which one he is, a guy with a girl, and then he has to put in his bio, it's my niece, or that's my cousin, or something. Or worse, look, dudes, if you're going to post a profile picture, don't post one with your ex-girlfriend and blur her face out. That's just crappy.
Oh no! See, the women do exactly the same thing.
Ew.
They blur out the guy's picture.
That's gross.
Because they don't have a good picture. Or
No.
I know a lot of people don't like the fish.
Oh, yeah,
But there are women there that have pictures with fish.
Look, if you like
and
fishing,
they would be compatible,
right, and
yeah.
you'd be compatible, right? I personally don't like fish; gross me out, and I don't like fish, so I just avoid those. And honestly, I would rather you be I like the fact when guys are upfront about their hobbies and the things that they like, because it helps me rule a lot of people out that I don't have anything in common with.
Well, I don't have anything against, topless, guys or anything else, because maybe they might be looking for a topless girl. and that would be a match.
Right.
Because there are, at least on my end, there are topless.
I'm so curious about what women's profiles look like. What do you see when you're...
I see a lot of nasty things. See, a lot of things that I avoid is profiles that say... I don't want a guy without a car. I don't want a guy that doesn't have a job. I don't want a guy that is living with their parents. I don't want and list of things that I don't want in their profile.
Well, the thing is, though, I maybe should have put that because I ended up dating a few of those people. And I really could have avoided that a lot if I would have known ahead of time.
Yeah, but that makes you a lot less attractive.
Well, it's because you're focusing on the negative, right? You want to focus on what you're looking for,
Yeah, so I'm thinking if they focus in on the negative, and if I were in a relationship with them, they would focus in on the negative on me.
Right, everything
and
they
I
don't
want
like,
that,
everything they don't want, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that kind of relationship.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't, look, it all depends on what you're looking for. Some people are looking for threesomes, and some people are looking for friends with benefits, and some people aren't looking for a long-term relationship, and stuff. So it's, I get it, but it makes it I wish there were filters on there where you could filter by what people are actually looking for. And I know there are tags you can, this person has so many interests, similarly to you, but they're so vague, cooking, music. Who doesn't like cooking or music or food? I mean, seriously? Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's we all like music, we all like... Oh, and the other thing is, they put down, I want to find somebody that makes me happy, that makes me smile. And that's what we're all looking for.
Well, yeah, you would think. So I do have a curious thing. So height is a big thing for women. Do you see women posting must be, over 6 foot or something?
Yes,
yeah, I figured
yes.
that was probably a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most women don't like shorter men.
Yeah.
And, with my high heels on, I'm over 6 foot. So.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, me too. Yeah, with my high heels, I'm over 6 foot as well. Yeah. No, that is, I would say you have to be at least as tall as me. And I don't think I've dated anyone shorter than me.
No, see, well... A lot of taller women don't like going out with me.
Yeah.
But I think if you're either exactly the same height or very close, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
For hugging and kissing, and there's no bending over, and it's real easy.
Yeah.
And it's real comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think I could date anyone shorter than me. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it either.
But I mean, the other aspect of it is also, I mean, I don't know, it's just a personal preference. I don't think I could date anyone skinnier than me either. But that's more of a I'm just self-conscious.
But you have.
I have, yeah, and that didn't work out real great,
Well, you still picked him.
But he used to be heavy, so like
that
I felt like
he's skinny.
I know, but he could understand the struggle, right? Dating a skinny guy that can eat anything, or somebody that isn't health conscious, that just like can eat what, like I can't. It just doesn't match. They don't understand the struggle, and I need somebody that understands the struggle. So
did he really understand the struggle?
Yeah, he lost 100 pounds.
But did he convey that? I don't know. Convey that positivity towards you?
No, no. I mean, yeah. So we'll get to that one. That was the last one. I didn't like.
Yeah.
So no, but I had very lots of interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to remember my profile. My profile was pretty. I mean, I put the things I liked. I tried to be kind of vague about my job because, or I might have said librarian because. I don't know.
You did put something on there. You said, but you don't like country.
I don't like country.
So you're eliminating all these other.
That was the only
people.
Right, because yeah. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but I really don't like country music. Like, it's just not. I mean, everyone, I know country music, but I don't want to go to country bars. I don't want to go line dancing. I won't wear cowboy boots. Like, I don't want to ride a bull. I don't like. I mean, and things that are associated with cowboy music and like, guns and trucks and paintball and like those are all things I don't like. So I guess it was just.
Well, see, I've experienced both. I mean, I don't really care for a lot of country music.
Yeah.
But the people are very nice in general.
No, it's not to say.
I haven't found a mean country person. Well, yeah, I guess there was a nasty date that I went on.
Yeah.
And she was a little disgusting.
It's not to say that. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people that like country music and trucks and hunting and fishing and things like that and are outdoorsy and love paintball and camo that are super nice. I'm just not interested in any of those things. The person that I'm looking for likes musicals and karaoke and chess and dancing and art and, funny movies and, I don't know, like nerdy things,
Yeah, but it's usually nerdy and, describing something, a person that's outgoing doesn't really, I mean, that's rare, isn't it?
An outgoing nerd?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of rare.
Yeah.
That's kind of rare. I found 3. I mean, including myself. No.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
no. 2. So I found 2. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Oh.
Out of how many? 100, 200?
No, God, no. I mean, crap. I've probably gone on at least 25 dates. 25 dates the whole time.
So how many actually contacted you? Hundreds?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
You get but the thing is like, here, another tip. You gotta stand out. You gotta say something, and don't say the stupid pickup lines, but also don't just say like, hey. You know how many heys I got in a day?
No, I get the same thing.
50. Hey. 2 days later. Hey. What's up? Now, some of the coolest questions I got were, so I usually post an outfit. I usually post me in a costume because I love to dress up and I want somebody that likes to dress up. Yeah. So if you comment on my costume and you say like cool costume or I went as such and such for Halloween, like ding,
right.
Yoga. So yoga. I like to post like, okay, of my face. I try to pick something that's full body because look, I'm not a skinny mini, like, so I want you to know like what I look like before I see you.
Oh, you still look good.
Thank you. But but I don't know. I just feel like it's being disingenuous if you don't post a full body picture because they want to know what you look like. I'm a little curvy, so they got to know that I'm not a waif. Never will be a waif. One of me doing yoga, costume, one with my cat, because you
Yeah.
have to like cats. It's another one. I'm trying to think, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you're too skinny, I might break you. So
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I don't like to do that. I mean, I've done that. Oh, there was this one girl.
Yeah.
This is probably bad to say, but she was so skinny. When I had sex with her, it hurt.
Ooh.
It hurt me down there.
Ouch. Jesus.
And I don't know how that was possible. So I never went there.
No.
No.
No, some guys like that. Some guys like.
And I'm not a huge guy.
Oh no, but you're built. I mean, so yeah.
No, I'm thinking huge down there for it to hurt.
Your podcast. Oh my god. Delete that.
No, I'm not deleting it. No, that's the truth.
I'm not saying anything. I have no comment on that. It is, it is not size that matters so much.
No, it's really technical.
It's and it's connection. I mean, which is a whole other podcast. But no, so I would say, I mean, that's typically what I post. So when guys would send me like openers or whatever, it would always be something about my costume, or what's that pose called, or if they actually read my profile and they see that I'm a librarian, sometimes they ask me like what my favorite book is, so, and that's a much more interesting conversation.
Yeah, because there's so many profiles that I've come across that they have nothing on their profile. It's like, what do you have to go on? What kind of common things?
What they look like.
Or if I ask them the common questions like, okay, so what are your hobbies? What do you like to do for work or anything? Then they start yelling at you. It's like everybody asks me that same question.
Put in your profile, so I don't have to ask you that question.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and the one thing I will say is that there are and I know this sounds conceited, and it's not. It's just that I have a specific type of person that I'm attracted to, and there are very few people that I've found on those dating apps that I'm attracted to. And I did try dating people that I was not attracted to because there wasn't any other options.
There's always options.
You want to see? Do you want to see? There's a meme out there, and I swear it's so legit. It's a picture of like all the men. It's pictures of these ugly fish, like the blob fish and like some of these other fish. And it was like men on dating websites, and it's all these ugly fish. That's exactly. I'm not kidding.
No, it's the same for me, because I showed Ben all of my the people that I have to choose from, and he goes, "What is this website? Plenty of Dykes?" And I'm like, "What?" He makes all kinds of off-the-wall comments.
See, I feel. I mean, again, I'm not on there. I don't know what the women look like, but I always assume that the women are just older, and that they're very, they're attractive, but not like young, and so.
Yeah, there's a wide variety, but the people that are attracted to me aren't. I'm not attracted to them, so.
Yeah. Well, and I would say I've never, so the other piece of it is if the guy is too attractive, then I don't they don't like me, and I don't like them, because I assume that it's either a fake profile, like if the pictures are too perfect, like I don't trust it, and I assume that they've got like slew of women reaching out to them, and I don't want competition, honestly. So.
Well, I mean, you're on a date site. And it's inevitable.
Well, and they are very few and far between, and so I always figured the few that I did find were usually fake. I did like a couple, and they never responded, like never sent me a message or anything.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I have some posing pictures, and then I have non-posing pictures, I guess, and maybe they think that my profile's fake?
No, because your photos, they're very clearly selfies. So like one of them was in like your profile pictures, there was a bathroom selfie, and there was one of you sitting by the pool, and there was another bathroom selfie with you in like a burgundy shirt off to the side, kind of flexing your muscle a little bit.
Yeah, those are posing.
Yeah, but they're not fake. Like, I'm talking about...
How do you know if that's fake or not?
Because nobody would take a fake bathroom selfie. Like, guys that... Like, the fake ones that I'm talking about look like model shots. Mm-hmm. Like photo shoots. Like, somebody grabbed screenshots off of some model's webpage or something and posted it. Those are very obviously not real.
Oh, like with no background?
Yeah.
Sort of?
Yeah, like a gray background.
Yeah.
Or even the ones that are like, you know, a guy like skiing with like his, you know, like doing some cool move or something. And it's like, how the heck did you get that shot? Like, seriously? Mm-hmm. And if they're all like that, you know it's not legit. Or if it's one picture. If they only have one picture and it's too pretty, it's not real.
It's too pretty.
It's too pretty. You're like, this is a, and I did get one fake profile, and unfortunately, it was a pretty good one, and but I didn't quite trust it, so I gave them a Google number to text, and sure enough, it wasn't legit. Like, you can tell because when they're texting, it's very stilted and it doesn't sound like English. You know, like...
Oh, yeah, they have broken English. Yeah. Like they're from Nigeria
or something. Or, you know, yeah. India.
Yeah, I kind of had that.
Yeah. So I ended up... So I deleted the Google number, and, I never talked to that person again.
Yeah, because I had a lot of fake profiles that I came across. And they usually tell me to call a separate number or go to this website and pay for this. Because,
and I bet more men get scammed like that than women do, for sure.
Yeah,
we're more skeptical, I think.
Like more recently, I've been getting a lot of Japanese or Chinese people, and it says that they're a certain distance apart, like they're 20 miles or so, when really, you know, when you start talking to them, they're real people, but they're actually from the country.
Jeez. Man, oh man.
It's like, okay, so how are we supposed to meet? You know, and I kind of play with them a little bit because I had nothing else to do at the time when I wasn't dating.
Oh, I mean, I tend to, like, if I'm interested in someone, I tend to go on a date very quickly. You know, we talk a few times, and because I just want to get it out of the way. Like, I'd rather meet you and see what you look like in person, and then decide whether or not I want to continue like, I don't feel like talking to someone for months if there's no physical attraction. I think that's a waste of time.
Yeah, but how do you know if there's interest right away?
Well, that's why you talk, you know, a little bit, and you find out basic stuff. And a lot of times, I don't like anyone unless they have a pretty thorough profile. So if you don't have anything on your profile, or you say, like, interest, just ask. No. I don't want to.
Yeah,
because that's a waste of my time. You know, if you have a pretty thorough profile, you know, I didn't like a ton of people. I mean, I would like maybe 10 to 12 people, and out of those 10 to 12 people, maybe 3 of them would talk to me.
Oh.
So, and then out of those 3, I might go on a date with 1.
I don't know. I liked a lot of people, but nobody replied back to me at all. Because I don't know if they were fake or not.
So, when you would like someone, they would like you back?
No. I would never hear from them.
Okay. So how many matches would you get? Like, how many people would you like and like you back?
Out of a 3-month span, maybe 2.
Okay. See, I had like 12. So, and not 3 months. That was probably, I don't know, a couple weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I sent out, there was one point, there was a website that actually counted how many times I sent something out to somebody.
So what sites would you use? Because, I mean, I stuck with Match or Tinder, and I didn't meet anyone on Match.
Yeah, Tinder was always bad because that's typically a hookup site.
Well, the thing is, though, is that Tinder is where everyone is. So, like, you have a greater chance of meeting someone on Tinder just because that's the easiest app and everybody's using it. And I would say originally that Tinder was definitely a hookup app, but I wouldn't say that anymore. I mean, I know a couple...
On my side it is because there's a lot of couples that are looking for
I've only seen that
another couple.
I've only seen that a couple of times.
Or
They're
there
looking
was
for another dude?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Somebody that's clean. Either another dude or another couple.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or...
Aren't there other sites for that? You would think there'd be other sites for that.
Yeah, but there's Friend Find. But Tinder's typically the one to go to for couples things.
I mean, Match is supposed to be for long-term relationships, But I had the same experiences on Match that I had on Tinder. Honestly, it was almost worse. And it's like these men think that, oh, well, these are desperate women that are looking for love, you know, like, I mean, I don't know if they're just intimidated by women who want a one-night stand or a hookup or whatever, that they're like, they'd rather prey on people that are actually looking for long-term relationships. But I've never, and they're, yeah. And I got way less responses on Match than I did on Tinder. So,
yeah, same with me.
Yeah.
But there was, I don't know, there was more of a better choice of people on Match.
See, I didn't get that. There were even less people, like less, but I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, because you have to pay for it.
Yeah, I paid for it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so I would say, yeah, and I've probably been on, yeah, like I said, I mean, just within the past 3 years, I don't know, at least 10 dates. Yeah. All of varying crappiness.
Yeah, I've been on quite a few.
So what should we, how do you want to format this? How do you want to talk about it?
Oh, the different dates?
Yeah, the different dates.
Well, see, I have a couple other questions.
Oh, okay.
So, well, when you meet these people,
Mm-hmm.
I think you said maybe you talk for, how long do you talk normally?
I don't know, 2 or 3 days, and then try to set up something for the following week.
Okay.
You know,
Because I usually go by what they're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to talk for a week, a month, I'm still there.
yeah,
If they want a date within 3 days, okay, I'm fine with that too. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
flexible. So have you ever come across a picture that didn't match with somebody that you met?
yeah, yeah. So, but I would say only once had that happen, and I broke my rule. Okay, he had 2 pictures, so it still wasn't great, and the pictures were blurry, and and you couldn't really see a good shot of his face. Like it was like kind of tilted. And
So it's probably a picture of another picture from his
possibly,
camera.
possibly, but
I've seen that quite a bit.
But he had enough on his profile that I found interesting. So he played in the Columbus Symphony. He played cello, accomplished musician. He had an actual name on there and his age.
So you're more into refined people.
Refined? I don't know. Okay.
A celloist.
Well, I mean, he was musical. I love people that are in the arts, art and IT and education. Those are my 3. I mean, I find artists to be interesting, but, I tend to lean more towards IT or teachers. And if you're both.
If you're an artist, there's a lot of drugs.
Drugs
Possibly.
or personality issues. I don't know. I mean, I've only dated 2 musicians, like dated, like not even, I would even consider it a relationship.
I mean professional
musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, so I get there, and so first of all, it was pretty easy to find him online. Like, if you have a specific name and you tell me you're in the Columbus Symphony.
Oh yeah,
like,
you're Mrs. Sleuth, and you do a background
I do.
check.
So that's why another reason why I don't mind going out with someone, because I will find out where you live. I will find other pictures of you online. I'll find out where you work. Like hey, look, it's a scary world out there, and you want to know if the person's telling the truth. Right, and they are who they say they are, and you just do your research. You don't want to go into a date kind of blind, So
yeah, but on the other end, I mean, there's a negative to it. I mean, you don't want to go in.
That's dangerous.
Right, but that's also, at least on my end, that's dangerous if somebody does a background check on me and they find out where I work and where I live and they start following me around, and I've had that happen.
Well, I'm not gonna follow anyone around. I mean, I just want to know.
Yeah, but if I didn't know you, I would think that, okay, so why is this?
Well, I'm not
gonna stalking me.
I'm not gonna tell the person that I'm going on a date with that I know
Right.
a lot about their background. It's more for my own recognizance, you know, and own safety and security, you know, because, I mean, so anyway, so he was who he said he was. He was as old as he said he was. I was not able to find his address, but I found out later why that made sense. But yeah, I got there and I'm looking around and I don't see him. Like, and the picture that was on his profile was from the symphony. Like, it was a legitimate picture of him, but it was really old. It was a really, really old picture. And
that's the one that was blurry.
It was kind of blurry, and his face wasn't facing the camera. He was playing, so his face was tilted down, looking at his instrument. But from the picture, he looked decent enough. But he was a lot older in person, way older, and very not attractive, incredibly not attractive at all.
But in the pictures, he was.
Just from that angle, I mean, I thought maybe, but I mean, no. But
you said there was two pictures, right?
I don't remember what the other picture was. It might have just been that one picture, which would negate my rule if you only have one picture that I'll go out with you. But I found him interesting enough that I was like, I mean, what do I have to lose? But yeah, I was very, and that date only went downhill. Yeah, that was one of my most interesting dates. So, but yeah, but he was the only one that didn't look like his picture.
Yeah, I had a handful of those that didn't look like their pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a date where she had long dark hair in her profile, straight.
Yeah.
And she was about 5'9".
Yeah.
And when I met her, she had a tight curl. And her hair was white, but she was 29 years old.
Like intentionally white, or like it was gray?
I don't know if it was gray or intentional, or
was it a wig?
I don't know.
It'd be really hard to get your hair white from dark, or she was wearing a wig in the picture. It's possible.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
No, because she had a part and you can see her scalp. So yeah, that went downhill too. But I stuck through the whole date.
Oh yeah, I stuck through the whole date. I mean, it gave me a good story to tell later. I did feel really bad for the guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but...
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay.
And then I can tell you mine.
Okay. So met him, and I immediately was like, okay, I'm definitely not attracted to this person. And, so we sit down at the table, and it was a very nice restaurant. And the funny thing is that part of the conversation was really good. I mean, I'm a talker, and I can usually get people to laugh, and so I forget exactly what we ended up talking about that I got him to kind of laugh. I think it was Jon Stewart. We're talking about Jon Stewart and John Oliver, and we both like those kind of shows.
It's kind of rare to find a talker.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Right, and he wasn't really a talker. I mean, I kept asking him questions, but... it got kind of awkward when I said, well, what other kind of shows do you like? And he's like, I don't watch TV. I'm like, you don't have a TV? No. And I'm like, so what do you do when you're at home? Things. It's like, now I'm picturing him like murdering someone in his apartment. And he's like, well, I practice my cello a lot. I'm like, oh, okay. That's great. Tell me about yourself. And he's like, well, I had a girlfriend. She was also in the orchestra. But I think he said she was in Cleveland. They're not in the same orchestra anymore. And he's like, I also had a child. I'm like, oh, I said, well, how old? And he's like, they're dead. I'm like, this is a first date. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, it's fine. It's fine. He said, no, it's fine. And I'm like, okay. So, and I said, well, what got you into playing cello? What got you to playing music? And he's like, my parents forced me to do it. And I just have never done anything else. So he wasn't even passionate about playing music. He has nothing, like he has no interest, no hobbies. All he does is play the cello.
It's becoming depressing.
Oh my God. And his girlfriend or whatever left him after she had I'm assuming that it was a miscarriage because he did not talk about it as if it were like a child that he raised or anything. And then to top it all off, he was like, also, I don't have a bladder.
Oh,
and I'm
geez.
like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, when I pee, I just like, I can just go, like it's, and he's like, but don't worry, I'm not peeing right now. Like, oh my God. And I'm just, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know if to be like horrified or like, okay, like, I'm glad, thank you for telling me. Like, I'm not really sure why you felt the need to tell me that on a first date, but okay. So we finished our meal, and he was a gentleman. He did pay. And I was like, well, it was really, really nice to meet you. And he's like, well, would you like me to walk you to your car? And I think I'm going to get murdered. And but luckily we were in a crowded place, and I'm like,
He doesn't sound that bad.
Sure. I don't know. It was just weird. It was just odd. Like, weird. Like, it was a little bit more than weird.
He sounds more depressed than anything else.
No, I don't know.
From how you describe it.
Oh, so so he's like, well, I had a really nice time. I'm like, yeah, it was nice. And he's like, I forget exactly how he ended it. All I remember is like, here's one of the things. I don't like it when people brag about their possessions. It's a big turnoff for me. And
he told you he had a big tuba?
A big Tesla. And I don't care. Like, I don't care about cars. I don't care about how much money you make. And so, like, I think that he was trying to tell me that to impress me or something, but it's like, okay, well, I have a Subaru, so he told me that he had parked near me, but I scanned the parking lot, and I did not see a Tesla in the parking lot. So either he lied about parking near me, or he doesn't have a Tesla, which is kind of yucky. But no, I got in my car, and he texted me like later that day and said he had a really nice time and would like to hang out. And I was nice, and I texted him back and said, thank you so much for dinner, but I'm not interested. Which a lot of women I'm assuming just don't say anything.
Yeah, they usually ghost you.
They usually ghost if they're not interested. But I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want to be one of those women. Now, I have had it where I've said things like that and they don't take no for an answer, and then that's when I have to ghost them.
Yeah.
Because if I'm telling you no and you don't take that for an answer, then you don't get the privilege of talking to me anymore.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm very interested to hear your date.
So I usually have different issues. Like when I go out on dates,
mm-hmm.
and if they don't look at you, then I know they're not interested.
Oh.
And a lot of the girls are scanning the room, waiting for the date to be over.
Just shy?
Possibly. No.
No,
I know they're not shy because of how they act, how they were. Man, there was this one lady. We went down to a martini bar, and it was pretty crowded, and there was a band. And she got there before I did.
Yeah.
And of course, I was wearing a mask and it was all covered up and everything else.
Right, yeah.
And she goes, I can't even get a drink, so I'm going to take off and I'll see you later, as soon as she sees me.
What? With your mask on?
Yeah, with my mask on. So she has no clue what I really look like.
Jeez, that sucks.
And she was probably 5'2". She's shorter.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, she was a cute girl, but she turned me off. She was, I don't know, she was like a mean, aggressive kind of person. But that lady with the white hair, we talked for a while.
So the only thing that was different about her was that her hairstyle was different? I mean, did her face look the same, or did she look older?
No, her face looked the same.
Oh, well then I wouldn't even count that, because women change their hair all the time.
Yeah, but why would it be white?
I don't know. It was either a wig or she dyed it.
Yeah, probably. And then it's a tight fro. It's like, how long have you had that fro? Or did you just straighten your hair?
It could, yeah. I mean, look, my hair is curly now, but I can have it bone straight too.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, I would say when someone doesn't look like their profile, it's more about like either they're a lot heavier than they were in their pictures, or they're a lot older. You know,
Oh.
like that's usually like the two things you're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked for maybe a month or so
Mhm.
until she got comfortable, and we went to Panini's,
Oh, okay.
and that's over here in Willoughby. You know, I got there before she did, and she walks in and with that tight fro, and she didn't really, at first she didn't really look like who she was.
Yeah.
And she sat down, and she was a talker, but she talked, I would consider it talking out of the side of her face, because she wouldn't look at me and she would turn one way or the other. And she would start talking.
Interesting.
And, we order our sandwiches.
Yeah.
And as she was talking with food in her mouth. And I don't normally do that. I don't know if that's, some people do that. And I guess that's one thing about me where I don't talk if I don't have room to, or a space or a pause in between conversations.
Yeah.
So I kind of like to be respectful, but people think that I'm too quiet, and then they just don't date me.
So then why did you stop dating her?
Well, see, listen to this.
Okay.
It gets more exciting.
Oh, okay.
So she was eating and talking at the same time. And then all of a sudden, a full set of dentures bounce on the table with food in it.
Oh, that's like...
And I'm thinking to myself, there's all kinds of questions that are flooding into my head. It's like, okay, you're 29. How many drugs have you taken?
She's definitely not 29 if she's got dentures, unless
but
she's
she
on
didn't
drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a lot of people with drugs, have
rotten
teeth
or something,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Because she didn't, she didn't have wrinkles or anything.
Oh,
So.
okay. See, so I remember you telling me about this, but when you said gray hair and dentures, I assumed it was an older woman.
No.
I pictured in my mind like this homeless woman with like.
No, she was a thin, tall.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she was 29.
Huh. Did you verify that? I could have found out for you.
Yeah, I checked in her teeth.
The rings?
No. Yeah, but the thing is, she picked up that teeth, put it back in her mouth, and started chewing whatever was in there.
Is this the one that said that she only went on dates with people so she could get free food?
Well, see, after that date,
Yeah.
during the date,
Yeah.
she wanted to kiss me, and I'm like, no, I don't kiss on the first date. Yeah. That was a little disgusting because of the food and everything else. And I would have figured that she would use Polident or something to adhere the dentures.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, we still talked, and, I kind of tried to be more of a friend to her.
Sure.
And then that's when she opened up more, and she goes, I go on dates just to get free food.
That's nice.
Because, I was walking around in Beechwood, and I saw her with the shorter man.
Oh, okay.
And the shorter man was, looking down at the ground, and, I was wondering what he was thinking.
Yeah.
And she waved at me. It's like I waved back. It's like, oh, free food again,
That's
huh?
so funny.
And that turned me off.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's just rude.
And I'm like, really?
I don't know.
That's just, I don't know. Trying to tongue that and kiss that.
I
kind of freaks me out.
I wouldn't have gone there. Yeah. Yeah, as far as physical, things, the gentleman with the no bladder was probably the oddest, thing, physically. But that I didn't know,
Yeah, because my friend Nick, he had a girlfriend, but he also had one of those bags.
A colostomy bag. Yeah.
And I was kind of curious. It's like, well, if you're bumping uglies, does this bag pop?
Oh God, I wouldn't want to know that. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting just to pick things apart and
Yeah. Yeah.
find out.
Yeah. So I'm curious. Do you have other questions? So profile picture not matching the person what they look like.
Yeah.
And then other.
I don't know. I'm pretty open, but most of the women that I contact, they don't ask you questions at all.
Mm.
They're like, "Oh, well, you're the man. Why don't you ask questions? If you want to ask me on a date, go ask. If you want to, they want more of an aggressor."
Yeah, I'm not like that.
And
I'm the aggressor, so.
No, I like more of an equal.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't want somebody that can't carry on a conversation. That's boring. But I know the kinds of questions to ask to prompt people. I mean, and I think the thing that I like the most here's the thing I do like about dating, is that I do find people fascinating.
Yeah.
And I like learning about people and what they do and what they enjoy. I will say that the other thing that is incredibly rare is to find someone who has passion for something. And I'm not talking about ambition. I'm just talking about a passion for something. I could never be with someone who could just go to work, come home, and sit in front of the TV every night, and not have anything that they're passionate about. Whether it's a cause or politics or art or music or something, anything, a hobby, just to be passionate about something. There are so many people that are just going through life. There's a movie quote, and I can't remember what movie it's from, where I think it's My Girl, when he said most people go through this life asleep and very few people are awake. And I want to find somebody who's awake, somebody who loves life and wants to, explore new things and,
enjoy things instead of being miserable
yes,
about their bag.
Miserable, oh God, miserable people. That there are so many miserable people, and it's like, look, there are so many things to be miserable about. I get it, but there's always something to find joy in. Always something. There's always something.
Yeah, because work can get you down and life can get you down. You want a partner that can equally pick you up while they pick you up.
Yeah, and it is.
That's what I was looking for.
It is an equal thing. It is in being able to carry on conversations. And look, I've had plenty of dates where the conversation went really well, but it was there's just too many, I don't know. There's just too many other things okay, so talking about passion, I will be curious to know what passions these women had that you talked to.
Oh my God.
One of my first dates when I moved to Columbus was I should have had it on my profile that you had to have your own apartment and have a job. And when I first met him, he didn't have a job. He was living with his mom and dad. He had just gotten a divorce. He'd been divorced for about a year. He was a good looking guy. I mean, he was tall. He had nice hair, nice face.
I would have liked to see, be self-sufficient. That would have been fine.
Right.
But it turns me off when you list all kinds of these things, and that's all that's on your profile.
No. And look, I dated him. I went out with him knowing, he told me up front, I'm looking for a job. I recently got divorced. I'm living with my parents, but I'm looking for my own place. Mm-hmm. I'm like, as someone who started dating before they were divorced, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I know what it's... I was living above the garage of my cousin's house when I first got divorced, so I'm not going to hold it against somebody who's trying to get on their feet after a divorce, because I understand what that's like. And he was trying to get a job. So he got a job at Panera.
Okay.
Again, totally fine. But we didn't really have anything in common. I mean, I found him to be attractive, and he was...
What about on his profile? So then what attracted you to him?
It was, what was on his profile?
Because
music. We liked the same kind of music, and that was...
Yeah, but that's...
it was something in common. And what else? And he was into... He had done landscaping or something. I don't know. But it was just, we started talking about music, and we both liked alternative, punk, and that kind of stuff. And so that was kind of cool. And, we started chatting or whatever and talked a lot about music. and and I don't know, he seemed nice, and he liked to read from what I remember. But so he got a job at Panera, but I found out very quickly when we started dating that he smoked weed a lot, and I mean like a lot, like all the time. Like, look, I don't mind if you smoke marijuana. Like, I know it's illegal, but like, and you probably will never meet my children if you smoke weed. But when it's like constant, like I'm not even talking about like, look, okay, so he liked to work out. He liked to be physically active, which I also appreciate. And so we went to the gym together once. We get there, and he gets on the treadmill, and I notice his eyes look really funny. Like, they're, like, black. Like, just really dark. Like his pupils were huge. And he also seemed to be acting weird. Like, he was trying to, like, get the treadmill to go as fast as he possibly could. Like, I thought he was going to kill himself. And I didn't know why he was doing that. Like, look, we're supposed to pace ourselves over 25 to 30 minutes, and you're gonna like die on this thing.
He's like, I'm gonna impress her. I'm gonna put it on the highest thing and start.
Yeah, and then that's probably what he was doing. But I was like, this is stupid. Like, you're not gonna be able to keep up that pace for 30 minutes, dude. So I'd had enough, and I stopped early, and we left, and we walk outside, and he turns to me and like it's right into my face and goes, "I'm so high." I was like, oh my god. And then then we like went to my apartment, and we come in, and I'm like, he's like, "You don't mind if I continue to smoke, do you?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. You want some?" No, thank you. I don't do that stuff because of my job, and it's illegal. But no, it was too much. Like, so I asked him, speaking about passions, I was like, maybe there's something deeper. Maybe he is more than just a guy that works at Panera and likes alternative and really hasn't grown up at all. I mean, he was in his 40s. He was in his 40s and like hadn't really done anything with his life. And look, I don't expect anybody to be like make a ton of money or anything like that, but just have passion about something. So I said, what are you passionate about? If you could do anything in your life, what would it be? And he says, with all seriousness, I'd like to grow my own weed. And I knew, and I'm like, there is nothing here. Like,
he's a keeper.
Oh my god,
he would make so much money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't want any part of that. No, thank you. Yeah. So I would say one other thing that kind of turned me off, but I don't want to go there.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Okay,
no, I don't. Well, okay, so if you said you had sex with that skinny girl, and I feel like I can say this. So he was naked, and I had, so those things that are on the Tito's vodka, those that say like, the dog-friendly vodka, and they're like it's a little cardboard cone around the top of the bottle.
Yeah.
So I come out of the bathroom, he's completely naked, and he had it around his dick, and was like, and like swinging it around, and I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just standing there like, okay, like ha 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 ha. Like, it's not funny. It was kind of stupid. I'm like, are you 10? Like, gross. Like, ew, put that away.
He was trying to be funny, though.
It's not funny. It's just not, like, what?
It's more of a guy thing.
Like, okay, go do that to your guy friends. Like, if you want to get with a girl, I suggest to not do that, because it is such a turnoff. I was like, well, I'm really tired. I think I'm going to head to bed without you.
He's like, oh, let me come with you.
Oh, yeah.
With my cone.
No. I think he could tell that I was like not.
That would be
like,
so funny.
No. Yeah, and he's the same one that after we stopped dating, and I just, because I'm not. Look, like I said, I'm not into weed or whatever. If you smoke it once in a great while, fine. But I can't date somebody that like their whole life revolves around marijuana. I can't.
No.
I can't. And if you have no other passion in your life and you're not interested in anything else, no. But he messaged me later, like this was months and months later, maybe a year later, and he's like, "Hey, he was one of my Facebook friends, and he reached out to me on Facebook Messenger and was like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, and I'm like, "Fine." And I looked on his profile and it said he was in a relationship. And I'm like, "Oh, thank God," because I'm like, at least
With you?
No, not with me, with somebody else. And I was
That
like,
would've been
"Thank
funny.
God," because look, every time some dude messages me on Messenger, like it's always about that. It's always about wanting to like hook up or wanting to go on a date or whatever. Even if they pose it as something else, that's always what it is. So I was like, "Oh, well, he's in a relationship, so I don't have to worry about that." Well, I'm stupid. And like, yeah, he goes, "I was thinking about you." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so happy to see that you're in a relationship now. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad you found somebody." And he's like, "Yeah." He was like, "I was telling my girlfriend about you, and I was thinking the three of us could, we could do something together." And I'm like, "No, like, what on earth would make you think that I would want to? Like," and he's like, "Well, I was just saying, whatever." And I'm like, no, sorry, not interested." My God.
Oh, well, that was still funny though.
Ew. No. I was like, "Oh, you're still working at Panera?" "No, I got a job at Sherwin-Williams." I'm like, "Oh, great.
Oh, moving up.
Good for you." Next week is, yeah, what is that song? This week you mopping floors, next week it's a fries. Yeah, so.
And next time we'll continue on to my date.
Your date.
And we will see you next time.
Next time. Bye.